The timeline does matter because like La Rosalia going to Mexico and getting pregnant by a Oaxaca. Would that all of a sudden make a new mestizo? No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, that person would be mestizo because it's a mixture of two races, European and indigenous. That's all that's required for the mestizo thing. A timeline is not required. It happening during the conquest is not required. Like, you fail to understand the meaning of the actual word. This is a study done by the Mexico Biobank, talking about the racial composition of most Mexicans. Look at the verbiage. En términos generales, los mestizos mexicanos tenemos un 45% de ancestría nativo-americana. That's the vast majority of Mexicans. Again, using the term mestizo, because it just means mixed of those two races predominantly. If you go to the Real Academia definition, they're talking about those two different races right there, specifically indigenous and white. However, they're not talking about any time period or anything to do with that. In general, Latin American countries in the present just use the word to signify a generalized mixture of indigenous and white. The Mexico Biobank right here shows everything that I've been saying as far as that the vast majority of Mexicans are comprised of two races, American Indian and white. That's just basic historical fact. And that's what I was talking about in my original video that you commented on, and then you derailed into 20,000 other videos because you lost the original argument, which was that yes, the typical and average Mexican is American Indian, yes, racially speaking, and also white. They are both. So if they select both races on a government form or a census, they are being truthful because that is the typical Mexican. Now, if they don't fit that profile, if they know for a fact, like, oh, my parents were from Lebanon, so I'm Middle Eastern, well, then they wouldn't fucking select those races, but they're going to know that. Mestizaje as a concept, because you go into that, did not end in the 1500s. If you read this textbook, Before Mestizaje by Ben Vincent III, it extended further on to that. Even into the 1900s, there was thoughts about mestizaje and the whole 9 yards. It didn't just end as a concept at that time period. A renowned Mexican anthropologist named Guillermo Batalla, he's already covered this, where, again, the vast majority of Mexicans are made up, genetically speaking, of, the American Indian contribution. That's what they are. It's just basic fact. And in one of my response videos to you, I've already cited these other DNA studies that prove my point. Now, when it comes to identity, that's a whole other topic. But my census video, I was just talking about the fact that accurately, a person can select both races if they're mestizo, because that is literally what they are racially speaking. There's nothing to contest. This is basic history.